Hello, everybody. It is October 14th. It is Tribe Redefine and Friends Team Call. And I'm not as amped up as I was last week. And just want to share a little bit of content. Kaden, I can't talk right now. Okay, babe, sorry. Oh, okay. Then don't look at me. And I know you're not talking to me. What you gonna call it? Talking about or doing a little action for brainstorming ways we can share our story, which we've talked about storytelling before. But there was a really good podcast that talked about pain points versus pleasure points. So I'm going to help us set some of that up. I'm going to talk a little bit about one tip I was reading or listening to in the NLC push group on coach and customer retention that I thought was simple. And then we're going to end with an NFL as our action item because I could really use one last little push tonight. So what I would like for you to do is just to make sure you have a piece of paper because it's going to help you out with the one action tonight because we're going to be like sketching things out. You could use the notes tab on your phone, but it'll be easier if you have a piece of paper. But we'll get to that in a minute. I wanted to tell you guys real quick about today at school because it just feels relevant. My favorite professor ever, and I may have told you this, but my favorite professor from college, Dr. Meixner, was our guest speaker at our in-service today. And I had this moment where when I opened up my computer last week and we were getting the agenda for our in-service, half of the in-service was department related across the district. We have a 4 high school district, so all the high school English teachers from the district. And then the second half was district based initiatives. They had different sessions. We had to sign up for them. We signed up for them in advance. Both of these moments were so poignant for me because when I opened up, Kaden, please be careful. I just want you to be careful that doesn't fall down. When I opened up the email with the agenda for the English portion, my favorite professor ever was on the docket. Guys, I need you guys to please there's a reason why I don't like when you guys are awake for this. What do you need to tell me?
There's on Dancing with the Stars, they only got 9s.
Okay, I will come and see that after. Thank you. Dancing with the Stars people got 9s, in case you were worried. That is the big news. Yes, Kellen's asleep, so I should take the win. Now I'm sweating. I'm losing my sweater. Let me try this again. I opened up my computer and I saw the agenda, and my favorite professor ever, Dr. Meixner, was on there. And she is everything that I am as a teacher. Every single thing. She was the teaching English teachers to be teachers professor. That was her job. She runs the English secondary ed department. So anytime I had a methods of teaching secondary English, teaching reading to high schoolers, teaching writing to emerging learners, all of those courses all were from her. And she was fabulous. And I was obsessed with her. And so I immediately went around the building into all my English teacher friends' rooms. And I said to them, if I hear one person complain about this in-service, I'm never speaking to you again because she is worth it. I promise she is worth it. You have to show up. Now, the second half of the in-service, the district-based initiatives, it was all sessions run by administrators or professionals in certain areas. So like they had a coach from the area come and lead. All coaches had to go to one thing. They had someone come in who's really good at, like CPR and lead trainings for all the athletic trainers and nurses. Like they had stuff like that. But they had my student teacher from last year, Dina, host a session on this technology thing that she uses. She was one of the only teachers asked to do something. So here today, I sat with my favorite mentor from college and a girl that I mentored running the show. And it was the coolest moment. It was like a full circle moment for me. And I sat there thinking to myself, this is what we should be striving for as coaches all the time. We need to be striving for that moment where we are seeing people fly. We need to be striving for those mentors in our life to remain mentors and to live in what it is that they do for us. And that doesn't necessarily mean our upline coaches. It means the Julie Vorises, the Danielle Natonis, the Jenna Kutchers, whoever. For me, currently, it's been Mel Robbins again. I just was in a mood yesterday, and I went to her IGTV, and I just let them play. And it, fired me up. But to surround ourselves with the people who make us better and to keep finding ways to support the people that we are making better. And it was just such a day where I know it was educationally related, but it made me feel so much in terms of what's possible in this business, and to keep all of those relationships as close as you can, and to fulfill them, and to see the role that every person has had in your life, and to remember the role you've had in theirs. Because it was like, my biggest idol in the teaching field, and then the woman that I have grown as a teacher doing their thing, and I got to sit there and enjoy it, and it was such a cool experience. So I want us to strive for ways of keeping that going, and that's why I wanted to add the coach and challenger retention thing. I think that one of the tips that I've heard in the NLC group, and I've heard it a few different ways, but the thing that I really liked is to schedule follow-ups with your coaches, all of them, and your customers throughout your calendar. So I know it's easy to check in with the people who are active in our challenge groups. It's easy to check in with the people who come on the calls. It's easy to check in with the people who, have purchased a product and renewed something. You're like, oh, hey, did you still glad you got your Shaco again or whatever. But what I want to challenge us to do this week, for the rest of the week, because I don't think it should take you 5 minutes, is to go into your coach downline, your downline. And I don't mean just your coaches, but if you have any coaches with coaches as well, and to go into your challenger list, both new and old, and find ways that you can schedule out regular conversations, regular check-ins with these people, just like you do, and to use some of your follow-up time for that. So don't just use your follow-up time for business building activities and checking in with those invites, but use your follow-up time to check in with a couple of customers and a couple of coaches or coaches within your downline every single day. And, you could do it however you'd like. You can look at their sign-up dates and just go that way. Like anybody who, on the first of the month, you're going to make sure you touch base with them. You can, make every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday your coach downline check-ins, Tuesday and Thursday, whatever. Figure out a way, but make it consistent and name the people. Don't just go through your downline and check in with the people, or I'm going to check in with Leanne again because there she is. I'm going to check in with her stories again because there she is. Trust me, and my team is like the size of a, a cereal bowl. Like, it's not big in the grand scheme of Beachbody. Jess has a cereal box, and Michelle Myers has the aisle of cereal at Costco. I don't have that yet, but now, and I know none of you do, but that doesn't mean people don't get lost in the shuffle. And I'll be in my Instagram stories and looking at the people viewing it. I'm like, oh my God, Delia, who signed up with me ages ago, yes, she deactivated because she was having a baby and then finances and whatever, but I don't know the last time I actually checked in with her because it had been so long. She hasn't been social media active, and I just kind of lost that. And those people remain in your downline. You'll see them. They remain gray even after they cancel. Your challengers will still be in your customer list. Go through that and try to find a system that works for you, whatever that's going to look like, however it won't be overwhelming, that you're being consistent with checking in with these people as human beings. Because I want you to be able to have those moments like I did today, where the people who meant something to you in one way or that you meant something to, you can be there to celebrate and be there to support them, because it's just too easy for us to lose those people. So, figure that out. And as you find the system that works or whatever is currently working for you, because as the team has grown and as my customer list has grown, I know I've let people slip through the cracks, and it's bugging me a bit. And I want to make sure that this week, that's going to be my focus. And I know a lot of us are sitting at low or none in terms of Success Club, but I truly also believe that what goes around comes around. And when we're giving to people selflessly, and when we're catching up with people and we're just loving on people, the odds are going to be in our favor. The goodness is going to come to us. So don't look at this as wasted time. It's really valuable. And if it means that this month is a little low, but we go wide and we continue to build in the future months with this process, I truly believe it's going to work out. So just a little coach and challenger retention tip to find a way to schedule those follow-ups and to use that follow-up time. It's worth it. Don't go to bed without it. Okay, so now I don't know why I didn't write down whose podcast this was, but I want to talk about pain points and pleasure points. It was either, whatever. It was either Jenna Kutcher, Keisha Fitzgerald, or Lori Harder, because they're practically the only ones I listen to all the time anymore. Or maybe, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or maybe it was the Design Your Dream Life podcast. It doesn't matter. But what I would like you to do with a piece of paper is I would like you to make a T chart. And on one side, write pain, and on the other side, write pleasure. So if you guys know what a T-chart is, I mean, I think you do. Looks like this. Pain, pleasure. It's the problem and it's the solution. It's the issue and it's the remedy. It's the ooh and the ooh, coming out of the clouds. What this is going to help us do is go back to some things that I've talked about over the last year, and that is the conflict resolution cycle. You know, every story, we share our pain points, we share the problem, and we share what we're doing to kind of reach out of that point. This is going to help us have a nice list of these to pull from, and it's going to have its counterpoint. So without any judgments, I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes. That might feel long, I'm not sure. But I want us to set a timer for 2 minutes, and we're just going to list just the pain points that either led us into this business, led us into this fitness, led us into this nutrition, keep us going, have made, we found a new problem, whatever it is. Don't hold back. Just list as many as you can for 2 minutes. Maybe it was baby weight, maybe it was sanity, maybe it was, eating habits, whatever. On your mark, get set, go. Just list them. Don't worry about the other side of the T-chart. What were you lacking? I was lacking a real community. Yes, babe. What's up?
Guess who got the first 9 and all 3 judges gave her 9s?
Allie. I knew it. Sorry. Okay, I'm working. Halfway, 1 minute down. $30 seconds left. Okay, I think it went off without beeping. Maybe my sound is off. I'm not really sure, but it's gone now. Okay, so I'm going to list mine out real quick. If anybody wants to share theirs, I would love you to. So these are the different pain points I experienced either leading into my decision to join a challenge group or coaching, or that I've discovered along the way. So need to lose the baby weight, my lack of community, unused leadership ability, inconsistent nutrition habits, high stress, missing time for me, my fluctuating health, my ongoing kidney disease, the health of my family, my incessant need for control, financial reliance on other people, burying my voice, failed or forgotten promises I left to myself, my lack of a routine, and my inconsistency overall. Those are my pain points. Does anybody want to share one or two or all? You don't have to, but you're always allowed and open to sharing. All right, the lack of unmuting tells me you don't. That's cool. So here's what I want us to do. I'm going to set a timer for another 2 minutes. And what your goal is to match as many as you can to a potential solution, either that you found or that you see as a path out. So for example, I'll do a couple of mine out loud. So the baby weight was easy. That was my first challenge group, right? And my first challenge group helped me kick the rest of that baby weight. The lack of community was finding tribe redefine, right? So I'm just jotting down the thing or the action. You know, my lack of leadership was, just, the same thing, tribe redefine. I'm going to keep that as the same answer. So we're going to try to match up as many potential pleasure points, the bonuses that have come out of these pain points, as we can. And your mark, get set, go, that you're already going. And it could be multiple things as well. There could be multiple solutions. So for like nutrition habits, I'm writing UPF, but before that, it was just understanding my macros and portion control. Stress, daily movement, and also morning movement makes a huge difference for my stress. Teresa, just good thing it wasn't Avery. She would have puked.
All right. I seriously thought there was some, I thought he was choking on something. He sounded like he was dying.
If that was Brady 10 years ago, he would have puked, right?
Yeah, he would have, because he had the same thing. But I totally missed what we were doing. Sorry.
We are matching up our pain points to a potential solution or something we found. So for example, my baby weight, the challenge group did that for me. Community, tribe redefine, that kind of stuff. Just any that you can. It doesn't have to be all of them. And we have 4 seconds. Let's see if this beeps this time.
Okay, thanks.
It's done. Okay, we're going to move on. You could finish that later. Sorry. So this is a way for us to create posts. So that's just a nice list for us to keep going. You can always add to it. You can reference it. I know we've done different brainstorming. We have our stories, right? Those what is it? The lists that we did with Christine Dwyer. We talked about I don't know where my Jersey, New York accent came out there. We've got our plot pyramid with that kind of way of telling the stories. Just another list for us to pull from. I don't know what to talk about. I feel like I'm repeating myself because I get into those moments where I'm like, look at these girls, they're my friends. Look at these girls, they're my tribe. Look at, but what is it? Because I needed leadership in my life, or I needed community, and you are that for me. I needed friendship, and you are there's so many things that you are, not just the girls that I work out with in the morning. And this is a way to help you quantify that experience that you have in these challenge groups as a leader, as a coach, in your own family's health, with actual stories to tell within them. So just something to refer back to. So it's good for you for future posts. I also want to remind you, I've done this before, and I think I've said it before, something that I did, and now you all have been coaching long enough that you can do this, and posting on social media long enough that you can do this. Go back and look at posts from 5, 6, 7, 8 months ago, a year ago, and do not be shy about copying the text, updating it a little bit, and reusing it. Do not be shy about taking the photo, copying it and reusing it. Because if you look at big accounts, they do this all the time. Shalene Johnson does this all the time. Christine Dwyer does this all the time. Jenna Kutcher does it all the time. If you scroll through her feed enough, you see the same image again and again and again, First off, it keeps the consistency in your feed, but also you should be getting new followers all the time. And people don't see this stuff all the time anyway. And that's a way for you to go back and tell stories again, introduce yourself again, and have content ready to go for when you have nothing to say. So you've got some saved posts. So I try to every couple of weeks go in, and I did this the other night. I couldn't sleep. So I went on my Instagram. I stole a bunch of my old posts. I re-updated them a little bit and saved them all in my drafts so that I've got things for when I'm short on time. Last night, that's what I posted. I posted one that I had saved in drafts last week because I needed, something tribe related, and that's what I went with. So just something to consider. You all have such good content. And to me, it's so funny. I know coaches always say you look back at when you first started and you're like, what the hell was I posting? But then you get to a place where you look back at what you post about 5-6 months ago and you're like, woo, I said that really well. And then it's cool because it's like, I can't believe I wrote that. And it's neat. And you get to share it because it's your writing, and it should be, people read books again and again. They could read your posts again and again. So just a little aside, didn't mean to talk about that, but something worth it. All right, now let's do an NFL and then we're good to go. So to remind you what we are doing, the first step, and I'm just going to give us, my timer is at 2 minutes, so we're going to move real quickly because then we'll be done for almost at 9:30. I'm going to give us 2 minutes for each task. So the N stands for new invites, challenges, coaches, anything you would like, brand new invites for 2 minutes. I will not speak for those 2 minutes. So if you want to do voice memos, you may, I don't know. I can't speak. Ready? Go.
It's been a
Sorry. All right. That was 2 minutes. I'm just finishing up this one. I had to edit this message a little bit. Hello. Thank you, sweetie. All right. The next in our NFL is follow-ups. Couple of things to remember what you can do with that is to remind someone of the goals that they shared with them, to ask them straight up, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you fall and how can I make it a 10? What do you need from me to make this happen, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, did you get that link I sent? I'm not sure if it's stuck like it was for my last customer. Any of those lies we tell each other. Ready, set, 2 minutes.
Experian Boost increased my credit score by 12 points instantly, which is insane to me. Boost your credit scores instantly with Experian Boost and see what it'll do for your game. It's free and only at Experian.com/boost.
She wanted a roommate who could help with the cooking, but she wanted someone who loves cats. So we got Chris Walker. It's almost made. The one thing we could both look around is we got her to help with our renters insurance. Yes, the two savings.
30 seconds.
Visit Geico.com and see how easy saving on renters insurance can be.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, ask your doctor if Epclusa is your kind of cure. I had the common type.
All right, that's that.
Epclusa has a 98%.
Okay, and our last step is love to leads. So share love with some of the people following you. Leave comments for them. It can be through stories or it can be through their posts, and then try to add 2 or 3 people from each of those and see how many you can get through by giving them some sort of love and adding followers for 2 minutes. A nice quick mini power sesh before we go to bed. Love to leads, Leslie. Love to leads. And Leslie, Kaden on TikTok has been watching all these people do this Miley Cyrus song from a while back. And in it she goes, my best friend Leslie said. And so we talk about you often because we're always singing about you. 2 minutes starts now because I was chatting. Milo, stop.
This is when it gets fun, right? This is when it's going to get really fun. Aaron Rodgers in a 2-minute drill in Lambeau against the defense that he has figured out. He knows exactly what they're going to do. With that thinned out receiving core as well. Scary moment against the Eagles. He has come out tonight. Aaron Jones had a little bit of struggle to fumble, the drop pass, and they had a lean on Jamal Williams. 7 carries for 77 yards.
That's that. That was super quick. I'm doing a couple more. Well, thanks, ladies. I like keeping things brief. I like to be, brief and bright and fun and then be done. Whatever Shalene says. We could pretend that I'm Shalene tonight if you would like. You know, in another life, perhaps. I'm going to stop recording.